Thanks everyone for sticking around. I've got the graveyard shift today. I can't believe you're all still here. I'd like to thank the organisers for inviting me to speak today on behalf of Coles and all the previous speakers. As Lucas said, it was really interesting. As you can tell from my accent, I'm from the UK, so I feel like I'm winning already because apparently the UK is doing so much good stuff. So it's really good for me to hear. I've only been here a year, which has flown by, but it's really good for me to hear where Australia is at from a food policy perspective, and compare and contrast that with my experience from the UK. My background is as a dietitian. I've been in the food industry, or the dark side, for about 10 years now. I work in the food industry because I like to make a difference. I like to get my hands dirty and see the impact of the work that I'm doing. So I'm not here to defend anything that the food industry does. I'm showing you what can be achieved if we put our minds to it and candidly talk about any of the challenges that we face and give you some more information and insights as to why things are the way they are. My role within Coles is nutrition and wellbeing manager, so I predominantly work from a private label perspective. People are taking photos of me. Oh my God. I predominantly work from a private label perspective, but I also lead on and shape some of the bigger corporate health initiatives that we've got going on, and many of those are in the pipeline, and I can't tell you about them today because there's competitors sat right in front of me, but rest assured that there's lots going on, and hopefully I'll be back again this time next year if you hold it again, hopefully in a room with no pillars, and I will be here to talk to you all about new and exciting things that we're doing. So today I'm going to introduce you to Coles. You all know who Coles is and what we do, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And then there's some of the initiatives that we're doing to support healthier choices, and then the gaps and opportunities that I can see, places for improvement. So everyone here will have been in Coles, even if you don't shop there regularly. I'm sure at some point in your life you've been in one of our supermarkets. We know as a retailer that we have a huge responsibility to the customers that shop in our stores. Different numbers floating about on different presentations, but somewhere between 14 and 18 million customers shop in our stores a week, so we have huge potential to influence the diets of many. And I don't think that as a retailer we shy away from that. Health is a core part of our corporate sustainability strategy. And obviously it's all very well having that written down on paper, but unless it's drilled in people's mindsets and it's part of their day-to-day work, then it doesn't really count for anything. And I think particularly over the past year, quite a few people have commented to me that decisions have been made and agreements have been reached on new initiatives and things that we'd like to do that perhaps wouldn't have happened maybe 5 or 10 years ago. So I think things are moving in the right direction, and we're starting to see that paradigm shift, as we like to call it in the professional circles. As a retailer, there's lots of touch points. So we sell lots of different products. We're not a manufacturer that rely on one product for all our income. From a private label perspective, it's quite interesting to me to compare my experience from the UK. Private label is such a bigger part of a retailer's portfolio in the UK, and there's obviously more retailers, so there's more competition, there's lots going on there, and it's a bit different here because you don't have the same private label offer to the same extent, and you don't have the same competition, and I think that's one of the reasons why you don't see the same quick pace that you would see in the UK. And I thought that might be a useful insight for you, because I can sense this frustration that things aren't moving at the same speed as they do overseas. But nevertheless, we have lots of Coles branded products. About anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 products go through our activity plan every year. That's how many we touch as a team. And every time we touch a product, we try to do something to improve its nutritional profile or improve its labelling in some way and see what we can do, amongst all the other initiatives that we're doing on responsible sourcing. We're working hard on the food and health dialogue targets, and we've met quite a lot of those for a lot of products. Even just the reach of private label, just by doing it on breakfast cereals and breads alone, that removes 15 tonnes of sodium from the food supply every year. There's still lots more room to move there. There's still lots more work to do. And as well as the food and health dialogue targets, we have our own internal targets that we work towards, where we think we can push it further. The other thing from a private label perspective is we've got our Simply ranges, as we like to call them. So we have Simply Less, which it's not a health range, it's more of a healthier range. So it enables people that want to manage their weight or reduce their calories to have those options. So the range is about 40 products strong now and is doing really well. And a lot of the products have the Heart Foundation tick on them as well. Simply Gluten Free is the new range that's launched. I don't know if you've seen that recently. The idea behind Simply Gluten Free was to offer healthier choices for people with celiac disease or gluten intolerance, but not at a cost, and not compromising product quality as well. And the other thing that we're working on is a partnership with the GI Foundation. So you'll see more and more products in our store that have got the low GI logo on them. And as you might know, you have to work to some strict criteria before you can even apply that logo to products. So that's something we're quite passionate about. In terms of the shelf space given over to foods, I wanted to highlight a new project. Actually, it was one of the first projects that I came in to work on when I came to Australia. Which is Simply Healthy Living. I don't know if any of you have seen this. I've called it a trial, but it's actually more of a rollout now. It's still a trial in the sense that we're trying to understand what elements about it are working, because it definitely is working. And essentially what we've done is taken some new build stores and really expand the offer of healthier foods and foods for special diets. Really pull it together, brand it, promote it, make it seem really appealing to customers, make it quite disruptive so it looks new when they come into store, really give over a lot more shelf space to healthier products, and look at that from a commercial perspective and see what it does. Because the challenges we always face is showing that things can have a commercial benefit. And with this trial, we're demonstrating that. And the more we can show that, the more we can do, the easier it is. And this initiative was actually asked for by the incoming CEO, which is great. So our new CEO that's coming in is really passionate about this initiative, and I've already had several meetings with him on all the things we want to do on health. So that's great when you've got that sort of senior person who's really engaged in this. So that concept in Sydney, I believe, is in Bondi, Balgara, I don't know how you say that, and Broadway. And then there's, I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. And then there's also lots of stores in Melbourne, so Burwood, East, and Craigieburn. So if anyone wants to know which stores they are, please feel free to come and speak to me afterwards. I can get your details, send you those, and you can go and have a look to see what work we're doing in those areas. That's that. We obviously have lots of touch points, as I say, so it's not just about getting the range right from a private label perspective and a proprietary perspective. We also have incredible reach. So the Coles magazine is actually the #1 most read food magazine in Australia. So its circulation is 1.3 million. So its actual readership is going to be considerably more than that. It's a monthly magazine. And we have regular health features and health-led recipe features in them as well. All the content is signed off by me, so hopefully there's nothing in there dodgy that you've seen. There's a lot that comes across my desk, and all the recipes now include nutrition information on them, and we try to highlight as well if they've got any serves of fruit or veg in them, and I'm constantly on their back about improving the nutritional content of the recipes. The other area, see, this is me on a good day. This is what I look like when I get up at 4 o'clock, and that's what I look like when I've had my makeup done. We have a huge social network, and a lot of people are on Twitter today and Instagram and tweeting away. We did a Q&A, a simple thing. We barely promoted it, and the reach was in the tens of thousands. Like, we didn't even promote it, and we were just like, come along today, ask some nutrition questions. Loads of people turned up. Online, virtually speaking. So there's huge reach there. We've also got our partnership with taste.com, so there's exciting things coming there with our recipes website, and pretty soon it'll be a lot easier for people to search on that website based on their health needs that they're looking for, if they're looking for low salt or what have you. Incentivise and rewarding healthy shopper behaviour as well. Flybars is the loyalty scheme that Coles operates. So if you're a Medibank member, you get triple points on fruit and vegetables. Obviously, that's a benefit to, from Medibank's point of view, they want their clients, their customers, to eat more fruit and vegetables because they're less likely to claim on their premiums. So that's a really positive partnership that we've got going on. And we also have our weekly super specials on 12 produce lines, which is making fruit and vegetables more affordable. So that's a really quick roundup of all the things in terms of product positioning and incentivise and reward and education and inspiring, all the different things that we can do as a retailer. In terms of gaps and opportunities, bringing health to the fore, I think that we need more nutrition professionals in industry, or more healthcare professionals in industry, but not just nutrition professionals, but those that are commercially aware and commercially astute. Because, as I say, the brick wall that you always come across is the commercial element, and it's not understanding what you need to do; it's how do you do it, and trying to find those solutions. I know all the things that we could do better. I'm very well aware of that. So it's how do we work through those and how do we improve them. If you've got more nutrition professionals in industry, I think we'd make more healthier products. I think there's a lot of well-meaning intentions out there. When we did that Simply Healthy Living work, we went to suppliers with an open book and said, if you've got healthy products, let us know. We want to stock them on our shelves. And we really struggled to get the products to fill those shelves. We were giving over all that shelf space. And some of the products that came across my desk that were marketed as healthy, I was just like, oh, my goodness, So there's loads more work we can do there. And I think the more nutrition professionals we've got in industry advocating for better nutrition, the better, more healthier products, and clear health navigation as well. Whichever side of the fence you sit on, I will say that when we introduced traffic lights in the UK, regardless of what you think of it, it definitely had that focus on product reformulation. And you don't want reds on your products, and you don't want ambers if you can help it. So any front of pack nutrition labelling system that makes it clearer for customers which ones are the healthier options and can drive that change in reformulation, as Kevin mentioned earlier, I think is a good thing. And so I'd like to see that we can push forward and get somewhere with that and agree an approach. And that's it from me. Thank you.